What is good, guys and gals, and welcome to the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 55. I'm your host, Afif. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Just to like, comment, subscribe, so forth. But yeah, for this episode, I don't have much to say, but there are just a few topics that I've prepared for and I'm looking forward to. By the way, this is my first time trying to record this episode. There are a few things that I should have mentioned before, but I made a mistake not preparing them well. But yeah, I feel like I want to explain why am I all of a sudden uploading mashed up songs on YouTube. Just recapping a major week from the whole video game industry that happened during the week of Eid al-Adha, which with all that happening was a nice coincidence, actually. And just some results on the Switch 2 launching in the first week. And yeah, I need to make sure I remember not to forget major Xbox news. And to give you a hint, as most people already know, it's an exciting new Xbox device related. So it's going to be really fun. It's a pretty exciting time for them, for everyone as well. Okay. So right now I do want to offer an explanation. Why now? Why am I all of a sudden uploading songs, mashing them up together, putting them on YouTube? Well, look, over the last few weeks, I was listening to some songs that mashed together from different YouTube users, and I was really, really impressed with them. Wow, they sound really good together. Even for a few of them, I ended up liking more so than the original songs itself. Even though there's a gray area that I've noticed with copyright usage. You know what I mean? And I know that more importantly, no one's tried to monetize it. There are famous mashup artists. I think there's one named ADA Music or Ada Music. I think he might have gotten a Grammy or something. But I'm sure he probably got copyright licensing or permission to use the copyright. So maybe that's how. But for some of them, it's pretty cool. There's still plenty that, even years later, it hasn't been taken down. No one has been sued. What matters is our copyright laws. So if there's a copyright claim, totally fine by me. I'm not even trying to monetize any video anyway. And plus, I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube at the moment to monetize. So of course I have no intentions at all, just to be clear. No intentions to monetize any YouTube videos with any sort of copyright material that's not my own original work. I'd rather monetize, for example, podcast videos and voiceovers, original music instrumentals. I don't know if I could monetize music to remix, but I doubt that as well. So it's just original content that I would rather monetize. The whole point of just mashing up some songs right now is just really for me, just as creative expression as well, just creative freedom, just to showcase new ideas. It's really not just for fun, but also a showcase for myself as well. And so it's been great. In fact, one of the songs I have uploaded, so far I've got 4 as of this recording uploaded. And what's funny is that although they're doing well, but one of them has really, really surpassed even my own expectations, going up as high as 7,000 views. So I'm just kind of astounded. I'm kind of blown away by the positive response. And even for a few dislikes, I'm not even offended. That's fine. It's not for everyone. Any mashed up song, not everyone will like it. And that's totally fine. If anything, I just laugh at the dislikes. So it's not like I'm offended or bothered. I just appreciate any sort of response that's given. So really thank you. But yeah, it's always important to just tread carefully. Give credit to the proper copyright owners. That's what I keep doing in the description section. Going so far as even including the copyright publishing logo and engineers and producers and mixers, artists, obviously, and just including a copyright notice law and something like that. So that's always important, It's even to the extent I've always noticed even sports videos, basketball highlights or football highlights, uploaded by different people, probably took from let's say Premier League channels or NBA channels and uploading them as their own or something. But yeah. Anyway, I do want to transition to the big week. We've seen announcements from Sony from a recent state of play. Microsoft had their showcase, and there was also a Summer Jam Game Fest. Just a few highlights I wanted to just mention. Of course, one of the bigger announcements really was the ninth main Resident Evil game, or 10th if you want to include the Code Veronica. The Resident Evil Requiem, there was a rumor about what would Resident Evil 9 be. We got a reveal of Resident Evil Requiem. Announcements of a few sequels that should excite people, like, Code Vein 2, Mortal Shell 2, Atomic Heart 2, and there's, including with a multiplayer game called The Cube, there's also a Splitgate 2, I think, now available. Even announcement of an Onimusha Way of the Sword new gameplay trailer. Some Game of Thrones related game called Game of Thrones War for Westeros. Just more updates regarding the Sonic Crossworlds racing game. Yeah, Sonic Racing Crossworlds included. The Wu-Tang Clan somehow is a new game. Okay, that's pretty cool to see. A release date for The Outer Worlds 2, October 29, 2025. All right, pretty cool to find out about it. Nice. Yeah, I mean, what else? Yeah, just, DLC for Street Fighter 6. Yeah, cool, whatever. Jurassic World 3 Evolution. I mean, the Jurassic World Evolution games now has a trilogy, which I did not expect to see, but hey, cool. Persona 4 getting a remake. A RTS, a Final Fantasy game remastered. Okay, cool. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Yay. I mean, yeah, cool, yay. But cross-gen? Why? Also, Grounded 2 sequel, High on Life 2. Announced Super Meat Boy going from 2D to 3D. So, yeah, that's pretty nice and all. But also want to mention announcements from Sony like a Neo 3. So, Neo has a trilogy of its own. Gameplay trailer for a fighting game from Arc System, responsible for Guilty Gear fighting games and Dragon Ball FighterZ fighting game, which I can attest, excellent game itself. Marvel Token Fighting Souls. It's actually 4v4, so that's pretty cool to see. I'm interested to see how that goes. The trailer looked really good. The anime style itself for the Marvel characters looked really good. Release date for Silent Hill F, September 25, 2025. A new Capcom third-person action game, Pragmata, announced. Release date for Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, July 31, 2025. I'm very happy about the news of a Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which is basically a collection of majority of like the 2D style Mortal Kombat games in its early years coming to modern platforms. And I'm fine that it's cross-gen as well, so more access for more people as well, and just also new content for Astro Bot. Okay, cool. Probably one that I really liked is IO Interactive's new game. The same people responsible for Hitman World of Assassination are now working on a James Bond game. So it's just called 007 First Light. The story revolves around a younger James Bond earning the license to kill. Pretty big story, just based on trailer. I don't remember a lot of details, but a lot of high stakes action, of course, with stealth and third person shooting. I have a feeling there's going to be like some puzzle solving somewhere. But yeah, vehicular combat included. That would be pretty nice. Just the trailer I saw, I was really impressed with it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it can work on my PC. I do have a powerful laptop. But great that it's on PS5 and Xbox Series. That's pretty great. So for a game in 2026, that'd be pretty nice to see as well. What else? Yeah, some sort of fight stick gamepad from Sony called Project Define. Okay, cool. I mean, I like what they have with the DualSense and the DualShock 4, but hey, cool. But I am looking forward to next month when there's a real demonstration regarding the gameplay for Ghost of Yotai. That should be nice to see. So yeah, there was a lot, but I mean, you could find the list. I mean, what am I really missing? Yeah, Clockwork Revolution. The trailer for that looked really cool. Steampunk. It reminded me a mix of Sherlock Holmes and Peaky Blinders. First-person shooting. I'm pretty sure there's first-person stealth. Dialogue choice. Weapon customization, that was pretty cool. It is announced for Microsoft platforms, the Windows and the Xbox Series. So nothing mentioned right now regarding PlayStation 5 and Switch 2, which I think like maybe in a few years it could happen, but only time will tell. Oh yeah, reveal of this first-person horror game called Ill, and I was very happy to see a trailer for Scott Pilgrim EX. That was really nice to see. Okay, so I want to transition to the Switch 2. And the results in the first week in terms of units sold, wow. In less than a week, exactly the first 4 days, the Nintendo Switch 2 has sold 3.5 million units already. And this is astounding when you consider like already the fastest selling video game console compared to the original Switch, compared to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And obviously the Xbox consoles, like now the fastest selling console of all time within the first 4 days, 3.5 million sold. And that's pretty impressive. And I mean, look, regarding the games lineup, not much, few third-party games. Like, of course, now there's the Cyberpunk 2027 Ultimate Edition, a new exclusive Mario Kart World that everyone is really loving right now. That's pretty nice to see. And what's more impressive is how excellent and superb how with the backwards compatibility. That's probably my favorite feature from the Switch 2. Backwards compatibility has really worked and seriously looked amazing, especially for some Nintendo exclusives that got free updates just to sharpen the visuals and improve the performance. They look flawless on the Switch 2. It's almost as if they were meant for the Switch 2. For games that really lacked badly on the Switch 2, work perfectly. And there's like what's called a Switch 2 edition with like paid upgrades, whether it's like high resolution, higher performance, better shadowing, lighting, textures, and so forth. A few games were announced. I think I talked about this, but the main ones available, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Nice to see. Even other games like Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, and Bravely Default, just for that. I'm not going to go over what the Switch 2 has. Everyone knows it. You can search it online. But, I mean, it's pretty cool that it's doing well, especially in the era of PC handhelds with the, the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally, which I will talk more of, the Logitech IG Cloud, the analogs, and so much more. Maybe something from Razer. Razer has always been an expert of like third-party game pads and PC gaming accessories, but I mean we are really living in a golden era of really like handheld gaming style, sort of making a comeback with PC specs involved. And even though they're going to be, some of them could be expensive, that's always subjective. Still, it's pretty nice that they're doing well, and it's being successful in the market, especially in this age of mobile devices, of tablets and smartphones. But it just shows that people want to play like, AAA, high budget level gaming devices. Like they want like actual handheld games in the palm of their hands that have like high end AAA level results, And Steam Deck is an example, so that's pretty cool to see. Okay, I did have one more. Yes, I do want to make sure I didn't forget a major announcement Microsoft made at the Xbox Showcase. They have announced they are in collaboration with Asus on a new handheld device. Now, I do want to address something as well. On a previous episode, I did say that Microsoft are halting production of a handheld device of their own. Now, in-house handheld device, it's true, not doing work on that. Instead, they are collaborating with Asus on two gaming handheld PC-like devices. One is called the ROG Xbox Ally, and another one called the ROG Xbox Ally X. Just one minor complaint. Am I the only one who finds it weird it's not called the Ally S? Just a minor comment. Anyway, so yeah, both of them have Windows 11, 7-inch Full HD displays, USB ports, they have Type-C ports, audio jacks. Slightly weighed differently, the regular Xbox Ally has a processor of AMD Ryzen Z2A processor with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, while the Ally X has a processor of AMD Ryzen A Z2 Extreme processor, which is going to be more powerful, 24 gigabytes of RAM. Yes, let me repeat that. 24 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, and of course, like a few extra USB ports and Thunderbolt ports and so forth. And yes, both of them have the same sort of Wi-Fi network connection, Wi-Fi 6E. Now, the regular Xbox Ally weighs 670 grams with a 60-watt battery, and the Ally X has 715 grams with 80-watt battery. Although another difference with the Ally X, it does feature impulse triggers like with haptic feedbacks, sort of a cue taken from the PlayStation DualSense gamepads with the L2, R2 buttons, trigger buttons with haptic feedbacks that vibrate. So pretty nice to see. What's even more interesting is that both devices will integrate PC gaming apps, which means it'll for sure include Steam, Epic Games, I think, EA Play, Ubisoft Connect, yes, GOG included as well, Battle.net. So the fact that these Xbox handheld PC devices are including the desktop PC gaming apps, Steam is the most popular, and it's good that there are other ones included. That says a lot. Even the more interesting detail, as we've seen in a few years, Sony have been slowly but surely now publishing their PC games on Steam and Epic, which means that with Steam and Epic on the Xbox ROG devices, Asus ROG devices, it means that now we could actually play PlayStation handheld games on Xbox devices, even if it's handheld. So it's sort of like bridging the gap of like what is exclusive and not exclusive anymore, or how long it could be exclusive. And what was really nice detail to see on both of those Xbox handheld devices, there is like a dedicated Xbox button, user interface. You could play the games natively, stream remotely, however you like, download them. So yeah, I mean, if you paid for your Xbox games digitally, you can play them natively and not just try to rely on an internet connection, not like a remote device like the PlayStation Portal, which is a remote device only for the PS5. So I'm really glad I mentioned that. I really thought out of all the announcements from Microsoft, I really do think the ROG Xbox Ally devices were the biggest news. There's a release window like somewhere in the winter holidays of 2025, and it did sort of demonstrate Hollow Knight Silk Song, which hopefully comes around that same time as well. There's no release date, but winter holidays, that'll be nice to see. Pretty cool. Okay, guys and gals. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the Films and Pixels podcast, episode 55. Thank you so much from watching and listening from beginning to end. I really do appreciate it. Let me just also say, for those that have subscribed to my YouTube channel recently because of the music mashups, I'm not baiting you to watch my podcasts. It's just a lot of creative work that I just like to do for fun, to showcase and display as well. And because I enjoy it and it's fun as well. Like, not, for the work, not to feel like labor. But anyway, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the support. Yes, good day and good night.